Welcome to Blip Shift Broadcasting, everybody. My name's Mark. We're jumping into a Porsche Cup race at the Mount Panorama circuit. We are looking at qualifying right now. As you know, iRacing does individual qualifying, so we'll only see one car at a time. Trying to get 2 good laps in and ensure yourself of a good grid position. This is Rodrigo Baronio. He is in the number 1 car. We still have 6 minutes left for people to try and get a good time in. We have 21 cars in the field today. We're just jumping into this. It's an official race on iRacing, and we're just doing this because Blip Shift Broadcasting is trying to gain experience in this line of business, and trying to showcase to you what we can do. We are a new broadcaster, and we're available for your league. Start broadcasting for reasonable prices. So I hope you enjoy the race, and I hope you enjoy the broadcast as a whole. So Rodrigo Baronio has posted a 2:19.570. That was his out lap. And let's see who else is on the track. This here is Manuel Scoli, Nathan Bartley. Looks like he's already had an off track because there's a little bit of damage, it looks like. Or maybe that's just a paint job. I don't know. Fabio Cipollini. We have John Corallo. Nice Gulf livery. Matthew Marsh, Martini livery. Bathurst, as it's called, Mount Panorama, is obviously it's a tricky track. It's got a lot of elevation. It's got blind corners. It's got walls close to the track on the mountain. It's not an easy track for these cars, for any car for that matter. It's not very grippy. It's easy to just make a slight mistake and you'll be done. You'll be in a wall. The main straight coming down from the mountain that's pretty long straight. There's some good drafting you can do here. Then there'll be a little kink to the right, and then a 90-degree left and almost 90-degree right-hand turn that brings you back to the start-finish line. So let's see how these drivers are doing. Rodrigo Baronio, the number 1 car, should be getting close to finishing his first timed lap. And it's actually Bruno Rossetto that's the first one to post a lap. 2:05.9, and he's on the, he's dropping down the order quickly. Everybody's starting to come in with their first laps right now. It is this guy, Mauricio Quero, that has posted the fastest lap of 2:05.35, and he's on the provisional. And our Baronio is on 2nd position. Bruno Rossetto is on 3rd. And Nathan Bartley is in the 4th position. And let's see who else. We got John Corallo. He's in 11th position. Beautiful livery on that car. Castrol GTX. And the 15th position is for Sebastian Stumpf. He's posted a 2:11.199. And we still have 6 drivers that have not or may not even want to post the time. There's always guys that prefer to stay in the back and take things easy. And just use the race to gain experience, to gain some I rating and safety rating. So at this point, it's the number 4 car of Mauricio Quero that's on the pole position. There's 2.5 more minutes to go. Ooh, he's almost hit the wall there. He caught that really well. Coming back to the downhill part, the long straight. Ooh, and he's stopping right there. I guess he's done for his qualifying session. He's just practicing a start. That's kind of what it looks like he's doing. So we've got Daniel Krasowski that's put himself on the 3rd spot. Well, it almost felt like he scraped the wall there. And then it's Rossetto in 4th. And we have the 7th position is Savion Ragster. We have Louis Tarifa in 8th. I guess he's already in the paddock. And we have Mark Hunter. He's in 10th position with a 207.9. And Robert Cook, he is in 13th. So right now what we do is we have 1 minute and 10 seconds left in qualifying. We will be racing soon. The cars will be gridding up in about a minute. And we will see how this race plays out. 3 drivers did not post a time. Manuel Scully, Andrew Burr, and Joe Barbosa. I'm going to call him Joe. I don't know how you pronounce that. I apologize for that. So once again, down under, Mount Panorama Circuit, very tricky track. It's got, the main straight with the pit lane is just pretty straightforward. Then it's a 90-degree to the left, and you're looking at this view when you start the lap. It's a straightaway that takes you towards the mountain, and then it just kind of snakes through that mountain area, and it's up and down and left and right. It's the walls are close to the track on that mountain. It is a very tricky circuit. It's very challenging, obviously, and a lot of drivers enjoy it. Personally, it's not one of my biggest favorites, although in a tin top, I like it better than, open wheel. The curbs are extremely unforgiving on this track for open wheel cars. So for the Porsches, it would seem to me that this is a pretty cool track. So we've had some issues before with transitioning to the race. So let's hope that this is not giving me an issue again. I don't see the cars getting ready to... There we go. Now it's working. So the cars are gridding up as we speak. We are looking at Nathan Bartley, waiting for all the other cars to come. We're going to be doing 12 laps on this track. Those are 2-minute laps, so it'll be a little bit. This is going to be a cool race. Main thing for most of the drivers here is to just, take it easy in the beginning. Make sure you survive the first few laps in the pack on the mountain, and take it from there. It's like I said, it's not a very easy track, not at all. All right, we're looking at the number 3 position car. Louis Tarifa. And the number 1 car of Baronio.
Green.
And off we go, and it's Baronio taking the lead right there, right in front of Quero. Now move first turn, see if the back of the field is getting through there all right. It looks like everybody's getting through there pretty good. So the next problem up is the right-hander. It's a pretty fast right-hand turn at the end of this straight, where you get really narrowed down between the walls on the mountain. And Baronio is doing a very good job pulling away from Quero already a little bit. And then it's a tight turns here. Going uphill, walls right next to the track, some fast turns right here. Another fast left-hander coming up with a very, very nasty curb on the outside there, and then we slow down a little bit more and we're starting to go downhill again. These are some tricky turns as well. The problem with this track to me is if something happens inside, he turns around, missing the turn, he basically blocks the track for everybody else. Anyway, Rodrigo Baronio doesn't have that problem. He's in the lead. He's pulling away from the number 2 car of Mauricio Quero. And Quero has Risetto right behind him. Risetto and Grzowski are pulling out of the draft. He's coming alongside. Risetto looks like he's nosing ahead there, taking the position. And something's going to have to give. It looks like Risetto is taking the position. Quero is taking 3rd, and Grzowski is tugging in there in 4th position. And then there's a little bit more room before we get to the next driver. That's Samuel Raxer in the orange car in the 5th position. Bouncing over the curves for those Porsches. It's a pretty forgiving car if you know how to handle it. But it's a Porsche. It's got the engine in the back and it tails out pretty easily. Back up the hill again. You're looking at the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th position car. Quero is trying to make a move, getting alongside. Coming up is a right-hander, and he's put it back in front there. It's still not over. They're still side by side coming towards the slow part. There'll be a sharp left-hander coming up right after this kink. And it's Quero still taking advantage of the situation. Grzowski now nosing into 3rd position. Risetto is not giving up though. Yeah, Risetto's still managed to put that nose ahead of Grzowski again. He's now in 3rd, Grzowski in 4th. And it's Rodriguez Fredez. I hope I say that right. I'll start singing for you, buddy. He's in 5th position. Grzowski on the tail of Risetto. Yeah, let's go a little bit further down the field. This is Sebastian Stumpf in the car with the pink bottom. He is behind Valagurski. John Corallo is on Andrew Burr's tail, trying to get out of this draft there and drag race him down the straightaway towards that kink. And it looks like he's got the position. And we're looking here at Mark Hunter. He is following Zamperlini for fighting for 6th and 7th position with Matthew Marsh behind him. And Risetto is now being passed by Grzowski, trying to get back at him. Rodrigo Baronio is still in the lead. Quero's in 2nd, 3 seconds between the two, and then it's Grzowski who is now being taken on by Risetto. I apologize. Up the hill, sharp left turn, further climbing up the hill, and then there's a couple of very fast turns with that wall right next to him and the, pretty rough curves. It's very easy to make a mistake there. Very fast part here, very fast. Another left-hander, also pretty quick turn. And then we're going to go pretty hard in the brakes, a couple of gears down, right, left. Another right turn, and then a slower left turn, back on the gas, going downhill. And then it's a left turn towards the straightaway that takes them downhill. And you can tell it's a pretty good drop. Rossetto losing a little bit of ground here. So further back, the distances between the cars are getting a lot bigger now. Jordan Badcock chasing Manuel Scully. Robert Cook is right behind there. Rossetto still chasing Grozowski. Can he do anything? Oh, it looks like Grozowski's going into the pits. What happened? What happened? Yeah, he's going into the pits. Something must have happened to him. It's not impossible that he had a penalty for a jump start, maybe, and he has 3 or 4 laps. I'm not sure. You don't have to do it right away. It looks like he's getting new tires too, though. So I'm not really sure what's going on here. Meanwhile, Liz Baronio still in the front. He's got a pretty good lead, 3.5 seconds. Mauricio Guerrero is following. And then it's Bruno Rossetto, who's lost his fighting buddy. And then it's Rodriguez Fredez in 4th position. Zemperlini is in 5th position. Mark Hunter is chasing him down. He's in 6th. And then it's Matthew Marsh a little bit further back. And we have Robert Cook chasing down Jordan Badcock for 9th position. And then it's Mike Veligurski chasing down Sebastian Stump. John Corello in the Gulf liveries following him. And further back, it's Daniel Grozowski now in 16th position. Not really sure why he pitted, but he loses it right here. And like I said, it's not easy because there's walls everywhere. And he's lucky that there's no traffic around him because, you know, it's very easy for others to get caught up in a mistake like that. So Savion Ragster is in the pits. He's done probably. And Nathan Bartley has given up as well. Carlos Rodasp is in the pit. We saw him standing there earlier. So let's go take a look at the leader once again. Back up the hill. We are on lap 5 of 12. He's got 5 seconds now on Mauricio Guerrero. Bruno Rossetto is in 3rd position. And Zamperlini is closing in a little bit. Rodriguez Freitas. Almost a second between the two. Mark Hunter is right there with them. Let's keep an eye on these guys here. This looks to be a fairly close battle. Got Robert Cook chasing Jordan Badcock. That looks like a fairly close battle. It looks like Jordan's got some damage on that car. He's had some issues already. Now the cosmetic damage on the car itself, it's not necessarily going to hurt him that bad, but it could. On the faster parts of the track, you know, a damaged car will take away some of that aero that you need. Let's go back here to Mark Hunter, who's behind Zamperlini and in front of Matthew Marsh. Getting ready to go back downhill. Sharp left turn. Coming up. And then they snake towards a 90-degree left-hander that takes them back down the hill on the straightaway. Manuel Scully right behind Matthew Marsh now. And it looks like he's trying to take advantage of that draft. He does have a little damage on that car as well, but it doesn't seem to bother him one bit. He's past Manuel Scully. I'm sorry, he's past Matthew Marsh, I should say. Looks like he's got a pretty solid position there. Towards the Armor All Bridge and then left towards the start-finish line. He is in 7th position at this point. Let's move up here to Zamperlini real quick. Still following Rodriguez Fredes and being chased by Mark Hunter. And Rodrigo Baronio is probably being held up there by traffic. His advantage over Rossetto is completely gone. As you can tell, Bruno Rossetto is right behind him there. And working traffic is going to be an issue on this track. That's for sure. It's really going to be an issue. Oh, and it's Rossetto. It's Marco Guerrero. He's spun it around. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. You're blocking the track for other people. Let's see what happened here. We're coming up the hill. Fast turn to the right. And I think he's getting caught on that curb there a little bit. Yep. He just nips the wall and turns it around. Tough luck for him. He's taking it to the pits, and he might be done for the day. So Baronio is finally cleared there a little bit, and Rossetto is immediately losing a little bit of ground. Rodriguez Fredes is now in 3rd position, and he's still being chased by Zamperlini and Mark Hunter. And a little bit further down in the field, this is 12th position, Mike Jackson. And it looks like he's coming up on the rear end of Andrew Gurr. And Andrew just made a little mistake there, as you can tell. Yep, he kind of locked him up and had to get out of the way. Good thinking that he did. Very, very good sportsmanship. So let's go back to Zamperlini there. He's less than a second behind Rodriguez Fredes. Completing another lap. We're talking lap 7 of 12 right now. Baronio and Rossetto are getting closer together. Almost a second between these two guys. It was more than a second, or more than 2 seconds even, but Baronio got held up by Beck marker. It's very difficult to pass around here. Very, very difficult. So let's go back to Zamperlini and Hunter. Going back up the hill, fast section here. Have to be on your game here. It's very, very quick. Now we saw earlier what happened. If you nip that wall, you're done. It's almost like a city course. All right, let's take a look at Robert Cook, still chasing Jordan Badcock. Hasn't really been able to pass him yet, but he's close. Andrew Barr is now getting closer to John Corora. I should say Corralo. Sorry about that. I love the sound of those Porsches. Mark Hunter chasing down Zamperlini. Half a second between them. Rodriguez Fredes in front there. Zamperlini in front of Mark Hunter. And up front, it's still Rodrigo Baronio in the lead, being followed by Bruno Rossetto. Still a little bit under a second. It seems to stay the same pretty much. They're getting ready to get back up the hill again. It looks like the rear end of Baronio's car has had a little bit of a kiss from somebody. Of Rossetto's car, gives you an idea how fast it is going up the hill. Just off the throttle, back on the throttle, shift up, just off the throttle a little bit, and then another fast left-hander. And then it slows down going back down the hill again. Zamperlini and Rodriguez-Freitas, they're still in the same order. And the gap between them is still pretty much the same as well. Mike Jackson's still about the same behind the Gulf car of Corallo. And it looks like Corallo's got a little bit of damage on that car. I'm sure everybody's had their fair share of problems already. Zamperlini. And another lap complete for Rodriguez-Freitas, followed by Zamperlini and Mark Hunter. The battle for third, the final podium position. Risetto still following Baronio. We have we're on lap 9 of 12. And the positions are remaining the same. The gaps are staying about the same. Zamperlini is moving on Rodriguez-Freitas, closing in there. It looks like Mark Hunter's having a little trouble keeping up with these two, and Zamperlini is starting to put pressure on the number 9 of Rodriguez-Freitas. Like Hunter's losing a little bit of ground on those two. Ooh, he almost loses it there. Little wiggle. Let's see if Zamperlini can catch back up with Rodriguez-Freitas again and put some pressure on him. He looks like he's closing in on the braking here. Let's see what they can do on the straightaway. Hopefully he can take a little bit of advantage of that draft that Rodriguez is creating. Up in front, it's still Rodrigo Baronio, still in front. About a second behind him is Bruno Risetto. And you are looking at Zamperlini, who's chasing down Rodriguez-Freitas for third place. Mark Hunter's losing a little bit of ground. It looks in this final section that Zamperlini is catching up a little bit. He might have something for him on the next lap. We are talking lap 10 of 12. 3 more laps to go. See if Zamperlini can put some pressure on Rodriguez-Freitas. That he's there and trying to force Rodriguez-Freitas to look at his mirrors, and maybe because of that you can force somebody into an error. And all you need is a little error because the wall will do the rest. Running for that final podium position. Second behind these two guys, losing a little bit of ground. Pace is pretty good. Baronio has run the best lap of the race so far with a 205.286. And the last lap of these two guys were in the 207s. 207.3 for Zamperlini and 207.4 for Rodriguez-Freitas. did a 2:07.4. Manuel Scoli behind Mark Hunter, 13 seconds down. Back to Zamperlini in 4th position. Half a second between him and the car in front of him, Rodriguez Freitas. Can he do anything? And ahead of these guys, Baronio still in the lead. We are on lap 11. 2 more laps to go. Bruno Rossetto is still in second, about a second behind the leader. Nothing much changes there. Rodriguez Freitas is 10 seconds behind the second place car, and Zamperlini is moving to catch him. Can he do it? It's Rodriguez on the defensive here. Oh, he almost loses it. Ooh, he caught that just in time. Can Mark Hunter take advantage of that? Not for lack of trying, that's for sure. Robert Cook, how is he doing in his chase of Jordan Badcock? He's still about a second behind that car. As Zamperlini is now being chased by Mark Hunter. Zamperlini is now 1.8 behind Rodriguez Freitas. So it looks like his podium ambitions are pretty much over. And now he's going to have to defend himself from Mark Hunter. And that's pretty much the battle that's going on right now. Oh, let's take a look at what happens here. He just gets on the gas a little too early, it looks like. Yeah, gets on the gas too early, doesn't catch it, runs it into the wall. Mark Hunter gets by. Can he keep going? He spent the suspension. That's a done deal. That's a done deal. That's sad. Too bad for Fabio Zamperlini. He's going to try and make it to the pits, but you really shouldn't do that. I mean, you're just messing up other people's races. Just park it. You're done. You've got 2 laps to go. In fact, the leader is on the last lap. There is no more trophy to get. Baronio in the lead on his final lap. Rossetto is half a second behind. Can he do anything? Basically, we're at the point where you can only hope that the guy in front of you makes a little mistake. What happened to Zamperlini? Zamperlini is still trying to make it back. Dropping down out of the top 10. So Rodriguez Freitas is safe in 3rd position. Mark Hunter is 4th. Manuel Scoli is 5th. Matthew Marsh is 6th. John Badcock 7th. Robert Cook 8th. John Rallo is 9th. And Mike Jackson is 10th. And Baronio on his final stretch here, going down the hill. The worst part will be over right here. The worst part will be over after the final left-hand turn. And it's going to open up again. Final stretch for Rodrigo Baronio in the number 1 car. Started from pole position and never really looked back. Had a good lead for a while, but the back markers kind of threw that away for him. Bruno Rossetto in 2nd position. He striked all race long. The gap has been up to a second. He stuck with it pretty good. Trying a little intimidation right there, but it's not going to matter much. The race is run. Rodrigo Baronio takes the checkered flag. He wins the race. Bruno Rossetto is in 2nd place. Rodriguez Freitas will be coming home in 3rd. There he is, coming around the last turn. 3rd position. And then it's Mark Hunter in 4th. Manuel Scoli is headed towards the Armor All Bridge. Left turn, head to the finish flag. He's going to be finishing in 5th position. And then you can grab a cup of coffee and wait for Matthew Marsh to make it across the finish line in 6th position. Looks like he got through the race pretty unscathed. And there's Jordan Badcock, Robert Cook. Here comes John Corallo in the Gulf car. 9th position. Mike Jackson, 10th position. Andrew Burr, 11th position. Mike Veligurski and Daniel Krasowski still going at it for 12th and 13th. Doesn't look like they're going to change it. Both of them quite a bit of damage on the front end. They're bringing them home. Zamperlini has gone to the pit. Mauricio Cuero is in the pit. And Savian Regster drove it across the finish line, but he's in 16th position. That's our race at Mount Panorama with the Porsche GT3 Cup cars. Rodrigo Baronio takes away the win. It was a good race. We saw some good battling going on. Tricky track in Australia. This is Blip Shift Broadcasting. My name is Mark. If you are interested in an affordable broadcast, look me up on Facebook, send me a message, and we will be happy to get in touch with you. This is our broadcast. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.